Let's talk about poo.
Well, not really. Let's talk about the wastewater treatment process, which is a system that we use every day and keeps our communities safe and healthy. When rain comes down and picks up dirt and debris and sends it to the storm drain, or when you flush your toilet every single day, all this water ends up in a wastewater treatment plant. The first and most brutal process is screening. When water first comes to the plant, it contains things that people flush or wash down drains. So this is where screens come in. Wastewater flows through bar screens. So these look like giant strainers. The most common type that we use are mechanical bar screens, including ones that look like escalators. These are called traveling or step screens. The main purpose of screening is for protection. It protects the pumps from clogging and protects any downstream equipment from getting damaged from too large a debris. The next step is the primary sedimentation. This takes advantage of the difference in density of the water and the suspended particles. So the water enters a primary clarifier. This slows the flow of the water way down. This allows gravity time to act. The heavier and more dense particles, like organic solids, are allowed time to settle at the bottom. The lighter, less dense material float to the top. A mechanical scraper then scrapes off the bottom as primary sludge, and a surface skimmer takes off the floating scum. The most interesting and the most effective part of the process is the bioreactor, aka the aeration tank. So here, wastewater is mixed with activated sludge. So what is activated sludge? It's a dense community of microorganisms. So these bacteria consume the remaining waste in the water. Essentially, they're eating our poo. And in return, we give them the perfect environment. At this point, 85 to 95% of the waste is completely removed. Now is the secondary sedimentation step. So this is where we separate the water from the microorganisms that cleaned it. In the process before, the microorganisms actually kind of clump together. So in this sedimentation stage, they have time to settle down and are cleaned out and actually sent back to the bioreactor to be used again. This is really efficient. Some of the sludge is also used in things we end up buying, like fertilizer. Finally is the disinfection stage. This is the final surefire way to make sure that no pathogens end up in the water that we release. There's many ways to do this, but we mostly use chlorine. It's cost effective, but too much chlorine can cause carcinogenic byproducts, so the levels are very monitored. Another way is ultraviolet light. This is less cost effective, but it really is a sustainable and effective option. The water is then distributed to nearby lakes or rivers or streams in outpipes. This water is not used as drinking water. We keep those separate, don't worry. It's not something that we think about every day, but it really is a great advancement in technology and the safety of our community. Thank you for listening, and thank you to those who contribute to the wastewater treatment process.